Hey there, my fellow soap addicts. Welcome back to the channel. And let me tell you, we need to talk about Cat Greene. Because based on the latest spoilers, she is headed for a massive double rejection that might just push her to leave Salem for good. Are you ready for this? Grab your coffee, let's get into it. Let's cut right to the chase, you guys. Cat Greene is playing a very, very dangerous game, and she is about to get burned badly. We know she is an ISA agent. We know she is working undercover to build a federal case against EJ DiMera regarding this horrific Coracil-tainted drug scandal. But what on earth is going on in her head right now? This week, we saw this incredibly bizarre scene where Cat actually accuses Rafe Hernandez of being jealous. Yes, Rafe. She literally threw it in his face that he was only trying to stop her investigation because he couldn't handle the thought of her sleeping with EJ. I was sitting there screaming at my screen, "Girl, what are you doing?" Rafe was genuinely baffled, and honestly, so was I. Rafe was ready to pull the plug on her entire operation because she is getting way too close to the target. But Cat, she pulls rank. She basically tells Rafe that because she is ISA, he has zero jurisdiction over her body or her mission. But here's the kicker. Andrew Donovan also stepped in. Andrew literally warned her not to sleep with EJ. When another seasoned ISA agent is telling you that you are crossing a massive line, you need to listen. But Cat is completely ignoring all the red flags. And then she does the unthinkable. Cat marches right up to the DiMera mansion and completely plays EJ. She tells him all about what she supposedly remembered from her recent hypnosis session with Marlena Evans. Now, we know Marlena snapped EJ out of his own hypnosis before he could uncover Cat's true identity. But Cat is using this to her advantage. She feeds EJ this romanticized narrative about their time together at that rehab facility in Italy. Remember when she used to read Wuthering Heights to him while he was in a coma? She leans into that hard, and then she kisses him. A full-on passionate kiss. And EJ's reaction? Oh my God, you guys, it actually made me a little sick because EJ was so sweet about it. EJ, the ruthless DiMera CEO, actually acts like a total gentleman. He looks at her and tells her that she was worth the wait. Are you kidding me? EJ DiMera is falling hook, line, and sinker for this ISA honey trap. But let's be real for a second. How long do we honestly think this is going to last? EJ DiMera is not a fool. He might be blinded by his weird lingering connection to Cat from Italy, but the man has Stefano DiMera's blood running through his veins. He is incredibly paranoid, and he hates betrayal more than anything else in the world. Look at how he treats Kristen. Look at how he treats anyone who crosses him. When EJ inevitably finds out that Cat is an ISA agent who is actively trying to lock him up in federal prison for the Coracil deaths, the fallout is going to be absolutely nuclear. He is going to drop her so fast her head will spin. He won't just break her heart. He will likely try to destroy her life. I think EJ is going to be the first man to completely ice her out, and honestly, she deserves it for playing with his feelings while trying to arrest him. You can't have your cake and put it in handcuffs too, Cat. So, what happens when EJ brutally rejects her and kicks her to the curb? Well, the spoilers tease that Cat is going to find herself completely isolated because she is also going to lose Chad DiMera. And this is where the real tragedy kicks in. Because deep down, I really think Chad was Cat's first choice. She has always had this lingering affection for Chad. But Chad is currently distracted. We just saw him kissing Belle Black under the 4th of July fireworks, much to EJ's absolute disgust. Chad is trying to move on, but he still has a soft spot for Cat. However, that soft spot is going to turn into pure disgust very soon. You see, Chad tries so hard to be the good DiMera. He constantly fights against the dark legacy of his family. When Chad finds out that Cat was sleeping with EJ, his ruthless brother, while EJ was actively covering up a deadly drug ring that is killing people in Salem, Chad is going to be sickened. Chad hates what EJ is doing with DiMera Pharmaceuticals. He hates the Corey cover-up. And if he finds out that Cat was intimately involved with EJ during all of this, even if it was for an ISA mission, Chad will never look at her the same way again. Plus, there is the whole issue of the kids. Chad is fiercely protective of Thomas and Charlotte. Jennifer Horton already warned Cat to stay away from Chad and the kids because of the whole Abigail impersonation mess. Chad is going to realize that Cat is just too toxic, too messy, and too deeply entangled with EJ's darkness. He is going to slam the door in her face, leaving her completely alone. Let's do a deep psychological dive into Cat Greene for a minute, because her behavior is fascinating but also incredibly self-destructive. Why is she doing this? She is a highly trained ISA agent. She should be cold, calculating, and objective. Think about John Black back in his mercenary days, or Shane Donovan. They knew how to compartmentalize, but Cat is letting her emotions completely dictate her action. I genuinely believe she is suffering from a massive identity crisis. She spent so much time pretending to be Abigail, and then she spent time reading to a comatose EJ in Italy. She is seeking validation from the DiMera brothers because she doesn't know who she really is without a mission. She is using this undercover assignment as an excuse to act out her own messy romantic fantasies. It is a classic soap opera, tragic heroine flaw. She thinks she can control the situation, but she is actually the one spinning out of control. It's brilliant writing, but it is so frustrating to watch. This brings us to the ultimate question. Is this double rejection going to push Cat to leave Salem? I strongly believe the answer is yes. Think about it. If she loses EJ because he finds out she's a spy, and she loses Chad because he is disgusted by her actions with EJ, what is left for her in this town? Her brother Mark Greene is already caught up in EJ's messy lab work. The ISA is probably going to pull her out of the field because she compromised the mission by sleeping with the target. Andrew Donovan is already breathing down her neck. Cat is going to have no friends, no lovers, and no job. Salem is going to become a very hostile environment for her. I actually think leaving Salem is the only logical conclusion for this storyline. She needs to go back to the ISA headquarters, face the music, and get her head straight. But wait, you guys know I can't leave you without a wild fan theory. What if she doesn't leave? What if she can't leave? This is Days of Our Lives after all. What is the number one consequence of a forbidden, messy soap opera hookup? A surprise pregnancy. Oh my God, can you imagine? What if Cat gets pregnant with EJ's baby right as he discovers she's an undercover ISA agent? That would tie her to Salem and to the DiMera family for the rest of her life. EJ would never let her leave town with his child. He would trap her in the DiMera mansion, and it would be the ultimate psychological prison. I am actually terrified that this is where the writers are going. It would be the perfect tragic twist. She tries to take down the DiMera empire, but ends up carrying the next DiMera heir. That is some vintage Stefano DiMera irony right there. Whether she leaves Salem in disgrace or gets trapped by a DiMera pregnancy, one thing is absolutely certain. Cat Greene's life is about to explode. She is playing Russian roulette with two DiMera brothers, and the chamber is fully loaded. I honestly don't feel bad for her. She was warned by Rafe. She was warned by Andrew. She chose to ignore them, and now she has to pay the price. I can't wait to see the look on EJ's face when the truth comes out, and I am so ready for Chad to finally wash his hands of her. But what do you guys think? Are you on Kat's side, or do you think she is bringing all of this on herself? Do you think she will leave Salem after EJ and Chad reject her, or do you think she's going to end up pregnant with a DiMera baby? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, because I need to know I'm not the only one obsessing over this. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay safe, watch your back in Salem, and I'll see you in the next video.